My name is Simone Gundy, and I play Crystal, who is one of the Do-wops.
Awesome. Well, Simone, thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you for
Um,
having me.
I know you guys are in the middle of rocking and rolling with rehearsals and getting everything ready for the show. Um, Now, I know I'm very excited for Little Shop of Horror. It's a great time of year
Bye.
for it. I was first introduced into it for the 1986 film. But for those that may not be as familiar with this material, what can you tell us Little Shop of Horrors is about?
Oh my gosh, no spoilers. Little Shop is the main story is about Seymour Crelborn, who basically is just this your regular run-of-the-mill guy. He's a nerd. He kind of just doesn't know what to do with his life. He's like a slovenly guy. He's not nothing you would look twice at. And he works in a florist shop with Mr. Mushnick, and who is slightly overbearing, slightly, just a tad. And he's hopelessly in love, as one sometimes is, with someone who is completely oblivious to his love, Audrey. And the story is basically how he happens across a very, very strange plant that has very strange needs. Let's just say that without spoiling. And that basically kind of sets him on this roller coaster of this ascension into fame and this fabulous life while still dealing with all of the normal things that he really wants. It's kind of that dichotomy of like what happens when you get the world and what happens and is that what you really want? And so he gets all this acclaim and all of this, and it comes at a price. And it's campy, it's funny, it's sad, it's profound. Um, and so it's life, because life is all of those things. So um, Little Shop of Horrors is about a guy that, just coming across this amazing plant and the crazy antics that happen therein. So yeah.
I love it. So, what has it been like seeing like the sets come together for this, seeing the costumes come together?
Well, we haven't got to see. Well, we always see like a mock-up of the costumes and the sets and things like that. So that's always very cool to me. I kind of like to surprise myself with the set. Like I play a little game with myself. Like I don't really look, because I like to have a wow moment, and because this theater still forever will wow me. Tuts is just such an amazing. It's just such an amazing theater, and so forever, always on move-in day, when we're going from the rehearsal space to the main space, I always like to wow myself. So I don't know what the set looks like yet. I don't know if anybody does. I don't know if that was up on the mock-up sheets, but if it was, I didn't look at it purposely, so I wouldn't know anyway. But the costumes are too cute. The costumes are so on point. The doo-wops are it's just the cutest thing. You just want to eat them up. It's adorable, but it probably wouldn't be sanitary because they live on the street.
That's fair.
But the costumes they're great. They've completely matched the characters. Colleen is she's always spot on. She never misses a beat. So I mean, I would expect nothing less. I would expect nothing less. It's very exciting.
What has been your favorite part about being a part of this production?
Okay. So I gotta tell you a funny story. So this is a full circle moment for me. So when I was in high school, I'm 34 now. When I was in high school, I was a senior in high school, and that I fell in love with theater at like 14. And so I continued. My first show was Once on This Island, and then I continued doing shows throughout my time there in school. And my senior year, we were doing Little Shop of Horrors, and I was playing Crystal. And it was towards the end of the year, and it was senior skip day. And so I skipped, as one does.
Of course.
And we went to the coolest guy in the high school's house, and his mom, she was the cool mom that lets you sneak and drink alcohol when you were supposed
Ooh.
to. Stuff. And so, all of the horrible things happened, the horrible underage things that should not happen. Is I drank a little bit and so. And I, of course, like an idiot, I come back to school because theater is life, right? So I'm like, I'm not gonna skip rehearsal. Like that's just no. So I skipped school, but then I showed up to rehearsal. And so I get to rehearsal and I'm like reeking of alcohol and falling asleep. And my theater teacher pulls me to the side and she's like, what is going on? And so, of course, I was found out and I ended up being kicked out of the show. I almost did not get to walk the stage. But luckily, my winning personality got me. I was able to convince him to let me walk stage. But this is a very full circle moment for me because I was like, I have to do this show. I feel like I cheated myself out of the show. So when I saw that it was in the season, I was like, I have to because I was right there and I never did it. And so I know everything pretty much. And then I never got to finish. So yes, it's very exciting.
Oh my God, girl, that is incredible.
So it's a very full circle moment for me. It's very exciting. Yeah. Yeah.
Life really does work in really funny ways,
Doesn't it? It does.
Oh,
It does.
okay. I had thoughts and they all just fell out because I'm blown away by that. That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens. It tends to happen when I open my mouth. Yeah.
Well, I know I'm very, very excited to see you in this show. I thoroughly enjoyed you in Sister Act. You were amazing. I'm very excited about seeing this show. So tell me about your character's involvement in the show. How does your character tie into this production?
My character, it's so hard to talk about my character without talking about the Do-wops as a whole, because there's such a crux of the story and there's such a unit. And they almost like, not even almost, like they finish each other's sentences. They're so in tune with each other. And so my character is really just a part of a piece of a really cool muse narrator like group. And I kind of feel as a character choice, I've taken on my role of being kind of like the protector. Like I'm like Crystal's like, I'm like, and Chiffon is more like, she's having fun and life is grand. And Ronette is more like, I would say Ronette is more like, she's just fun. She's like, I don't care enough to get mad at anything, to notice anything, to whatever. I'm just having fun. I'm dancing, I'm doing this or whatever. And I think Crystal, I've decided is more like, what's going on here? This is stupid. What you got? What is this? But she's kind of like this. Yeah. So, my character is really just supposed to help along with the other Do-wops narrate the story. And it's almost like they have an air of, I know something you don't know. It kind of almost seems like they already know what's going to happen. And I think that's a cool way to play it. Like, oh, y'all finna find out. It's crazy. It look like we live on the street and we poor, but we look at it, we see, and I think, not to be cheesy, but I think that happens in life, that we forget that it does not, your class or your status does not define how you see life. It does not define how adept you are at seeing people and their character and seeing situations for what they are. Sometimes the wisest people are just out on the street or out in the world and you don't know who they are. And I think that's a great part of the story, is that these narrators in their own little way provide wisdom to Audrey, to Seymour. And I think that's cool. I think that's cool because I think that happens a lot. I think even myself, I'm a very loud, boisterous person, if you couldn't tell. And I think sometimes when I give people advice or I give wisdom, they're like, huh. And I'm like, yeah, I think and stuff. I'm just loud and funny. But so it just, I love that. I love that they have humble surroundings and a humble standing, but they're wise in a way. So, yeah.
I love that. Well, I am going to be honest with you, Simone. I cannot wait to see this show. I've always wanted to see this done live and on stage, and I cannot wait to see what Tuts brings to Houston for this incredible October production. All right, guys. Well, you need to come on out. You need to come see The Little Shop of Horrors. It's going to be playing at the Theater Under the Stars, October 22nd through November the 3rd. You can get your tickets now at tuts.com. Simone, you're always incredible. Thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Come see it. Come see it.